going on, guys? Welcome back to Building a Life of Change, our 60-day challenge. We're gonna hop right into this because we are talking about what holds us back, and one thing I believe that can really get in the way of your change is influences. I can tell you this, and I think I said this before in another video, the reason I am now aggressively seeking change in my own life is because I'm noticing the effect I have on my children. Regardless of what you believe, my personal belief is I heavily affect my children with my attitude, my affect, my reaction to things. They mimic literally everything, because even our youngest will mimic what her older brother does. In everything. And we're noticing it more and more and more. She mimics him, and they in turn also mimic my husband and I. It may be hard for you to see, but the things or people we allow to influence our life can hold us back. It may be difficult to see, especially when you care about people, like when you have a real good connection or a real close friend or even a best friend or a relationship with your spouse or whomever, even your children, family just in general. It can be hard to see how they're influencing you for the good or for the bad. And you can always tell that by what we talked about in the other series with your negative mindset or with your mindset in general. If you have very positive, upbeat attitudes, more than likely your people are feeding that into you too, because you surround yourself with positive people. It's one promise I made to myself, and I'm going to continue into the next year, is I'm going to put myself around positive people, because I know the power of influence in my life. Here's what we can allow others to do and how we can allow influences to affect change. One, we are worried about changing and what they might say. Some people are going to be encouraging. Some people are going to doubt you. It's just a fact. And the quicker you recognize you're not going to get 100% support, the quicker you're going to understand that it's you, it's all about you. And you're gonna get through it. You're gonna be the one to tough it out. You may have great support behind you, but for whatever reason, we always cling to the people who don't support us. And I'm telling you right now, just accept the fact that you're gonna be the one to do this for yourself. So we worry about changing because we worry about people will say. I can tell you right now that is not something I worry about anymore. Could care less. As far as if I'm trying to change and people responding to that, I'm not talking about what we've talked about in other series, which is how people perceive you. What I'm talking about is I don't worry about changing myself for the better and people having a problem with that or making comments about it or saying that this is stupid. What I'm doing right now is stupid. I may have even gotten some negative comments in the videos since I've been doing this. I don't know. I'm not worried about that because I know what changing for the better can do for me. And it's just making me a better person. Or your influences can try and convince you that you're giving up too much. You're giving up way too much to change, or you're not going to have any more fun if you're changing in this fashion. First off, I have no idea where that came from or who created that thought process. Changing doesn't mean that the fun dies. Changing means that you're trying to better yourself in a way you haven't before. Even if you changed over this past year, there's still room for you to change. You should never get to a point where you say, I have no more growth to obtain. If that's the case, then you need to write a book. Because even some of the best influencers and greatest influencers in the world are still looking at ways to change, still looking at ways to grow. So your current influences could be impacting that reason why you don't think you need to change or want to change. Influence has a great impact on you. Who you surround yourself with, who you put yourself around, who, as we talked about before, right, who speaks into your life, that can hold you back from dramatic change. And when I say dramatic, I don't mean like going from 1 to 10. I mean dramatic changes in you setting a mindset to go from point A to point B, and it's short, but it's difficult and powerful. That's what I mean when I say dramatic. I'm not talking about jumping from woo to here, like becoming, your minimum wage and then all of a sudden a billionaire, which people have done that. But I'm just saying, like, that's not the dramatic change. I'm talking about change that is so noticeable by people. That's what is their worry. Let me just shoot it straight. That's their worry. That if you change, you're going to show people something different. You're going to, in a sense, be this catalyst for extreme change or for drastic change, and people are going to take notice. And sometimes people are deathly afraid of that. They are terrified, and they themselves are influenced by that fact of, if this person changes in this way, man, people are going to take notice of them. Some people are just intimidated by that. So here's the thing. Number one, change is not about restricting you. It's actually about freeing you. Giving yourself the opportunity to change so you live your life abundantly. That's what change is. It's not restricting you or telling you you can't do this, can't do that. It's freeing you to have the dream life you've always wanted, to have a life of abundance. Secondly, if the accusation is that you're giving up too many things, it's not you're giving up. It's not like someone is forcing you to give up something. You're letting go of things influencing you that prohibit change. That's the difference. It's not just, I have to give this up. I have to give this away. It's letting go. It's letting go of things, letting go of influences that keep you from the change you want. If your concern is about what other people think, I heard this from a very impactful coach, and it sticks with me. Angie Belmore, I've talked about her a couple of times. She said this: people will first ask why, then they will ask how. People are going to ask you, why are you changing? Why do you want to change? Why do you want to do this? Why do you want to do that? Why would you want to be different? Why do you want to try and start a small business? Why do you want to go to church? Why do you want to why do you want to pray? Why do you want to do this? And then you're going to do it, and you're going to ignore the whys, and then they're going to ask you how you did it. So let's go back to that document. It should be the second page. It says my influences. Who or what influences you the most? That's the first question. Who or what influences you the most? I've given you some examples. Toxic relationships, spending habits, stress, certain friends. If you have people in your life that are influencing you, and this is not bad or good. Like, there's not like, this is my good influence, this is my bad. Just who influences you or what influences you, okay? So list that out. And if you have people, put their name. So whatever it is that influences you, it doesn't have to, like I said, it doesn't have to be a bad or a good influence. Just list it. Second question, which influences are keeping you from change? Now, that's going to be hard. I'm going to tell you, because that means you have to be completely honest about what's influencing you. I hope that this has been helpful for you today. I just continue to want to prove to you that you can do it, and you're allowing all these other things to cloud that. All the change you want to make is right there in front of you. But you've got to push past the fog. That's what we're doing right now. We're in the thick of things. We're in the middle of the fog, and we can't really see the other side of it. But we're going to keep pushing through that, and we're going to get clear of the fog so that you have specific direction where you want to go next. And that's change. I'll see you guys in a few days, and we're going to talk about some more fun stuff. So stay with me. Keep it up. You're doing great. Just remember to be honest with yourself. That's how you're going to see the most. That's going to give you your breakthroughs. So catch me if I fall.